Hey guys, this is your host Eric. Today we are going to watch sci-fi genre movie called The Unhealer. Spoilers ahead, turn on your subtitle, I greatly appreciate your support. Enjoy the video. The movie starts with an old man named Slugger who is weak and drunk. Someone's grave is marked in a religious way. He pulls out the person's head in the end, which lets out white smoke and throws him back. The scene then cuts to a teenager named Kelly shopping at a nearby convenience store. There, he runs into his old friend and crush from childhood, Dominique. Before she leaves, Kelly makes small talk with her. Nelson, Reed, and Brad, two of Kelly's longtime bullies, have surrounded him outside the door. They make fun of Kelly because she eats paper and styrofoam because she is being bothered by the boys. Dom comes to his aid and tells them to stop hurting him. The boys are angry, so they throw Kelly's face in the trash. The noise gets the store owner's attention, and she tells the bullies to go away. But they put the video on the internet to make Kelly more look bad. In the next scene, an American Indian man named Red Elk sees the grave that has been dug up and praises it. Kelly gets sick from eating pencils and rubbers, and his doctor tells his mother Bernice that he needs to see a psychologist for his eating disorder. Later, Slugger is seen in town telling people that he can cure their illnesses. He proves himself by taking away the joint pains of a weak old woman. Bernice, who is shocked, goes up to him and asks him to come heal her at her house. Red Elk goes up to the man after she leaves to get her car and offers to help him get rid of his healing powers. Red Elk hits Slugger when he says no to the offer, but somehow, Red Elk manages to punch himself in the face. The medicine that Slugger stole from the native grave turns out to protect the person who takes it, and because of this, anyone who tries to hurt Slugger will hurt him. Red Elk tells him that if he uses the medicine too much, it will kill him. But the latter doesn't listen to him and goes to Kelly's house. When Slugger touches Kelly's body, he feels a strong current. This scares Slugger, so he backs away, asks for a moment, and goes to the bathroom. Before giving Kelly another chance, he takes a sip of alcohol and sniffs some cocaine. The second trial goes bad as well. Kelly's chest is burned by Slugger's cigarette, and he screams in pain and falls to the ground, passing away in the end. As soon as Slugger drops dead, Kelly feels better and gets up later. The police take the faith healer's body away, and Officer Adler gives Bernice his number in case anything comes up. Kelly notices that the burn on his chest from smoking has gone away. He has also changed physically in the years since. Reed picks on Kelly, but the boy hurts himself in the end. It turns out that Kelly now has the same powers as Slugger. Kelly's life seems to be getting better, and he gets a job at a pizza place. Later that night, Reed and Nelson's dad, Whitcomb, show up at Kelly's door to say that Kelly beat up Nelson. Whitcomb says he finds it strange that Kelly was able to beat up Reed when it used to be Reed who was getting beat up. Bernice is upset by what Whitcomb said, so she gets on his case. Kelly tells his mother about his new powers after Whitcomb leaves. Bernice is both shocked and surprised. She cares about, and he asks him to promise that he won't do anything at school that will draw too much attention to himself. Some bullies try to pick on Kelly in class, but they don't succeed. When Dom drops her hair tie on Kelly's desk by accident, he eats the tag before giving it back to her. Soon, Kelly starts to think bad things about her, and Dom starts to feel the effects of this. Kelly thinks that Sarah, a friend of Dom's, will join them for a 3. Dom and Sarah feel the heat as Kelly's thoughts speed up. The 3 climaxes are different in public, and later, at a school party, Kelly runs to the bathroom. Nelson takes Dom without her permission. Kelly is upset by this, so he talks to him about it. Whitcomb steps in and separates the boys before things get worse. Later, Brad and his friends see Kelly riding his bike on the way back to their house. They try to push him off the road with their car, but Kelly doesn't even move. When the bullies see him, they get mad and chase him. Brad loses control of the car and runs over Kelly, hitting her head on the car. When the smoke clears, it is clear that Brad's head has been crushed and he has died. Soon, everyone is there, and Kelly tells Dom everything that happened, including how he used his magic power. Nelson and the boys tell the police that Kelly was riding his bike in the middle of the road, and Brad drove off the road to protect him. But after an initial look into the case, the police let Kelly off the hook. Red Elk finds out that Slugger has died and goes to see his grave after he has learned about the soil. He figures out that Slugger's power went away before his own. After hearing that Kelly was hit by a car and didn't get hurt, Red Elk goes to his place of work to talk to him about Slugger. Panicking, Kelly tells the truth about how Slugger made her feel. Nelson and his friends are upset that Kelly is moving on with his life so quickly, so they decide to get even for their friend's death. They decide to get back by destroying Kelly's trailer. After finding out when Kelly and his mother work, they wait outside the trailer for Bernice to leave for her night shift. But Kelly gets off work early that night, while Bernice gets sick and decides to stay home. Getting to see her mom weak, Kelly goes into town to get some medicine for her. Nelson and the boys think that Kelly is Bernice, so they hitch the trailer to the back of their truck. Bernice was still sleeping when they pulled the trailer off its support while she was still inside. After they wrecked the trailer, they couldn't quickly unhook the chain, so they threw it in the truck and left. Bernice gets stuck inside the trailer, and the stove starts leaking gas into the kitchen. Soon, the gas will catch fire, and the trailer will blow up. Kelly comes back later and rushes into the trailer to save his mom. But he's a little late, and Bernice has already died from the fire. Kelly is very upset by what happened, so Officer Adler talks the hospital into keeping Kelly for one more night so he can find a place for him. In the meantime, Red Elk goes to the hospital and talks to Adler, who is also from the same Native American tribe as him, about Kelly's power. Red Elk wants to talk to Kelly, but Adler doesn't think it's a good idea to talk about the stories their great-grandfathers told them. Kelly is going through a hard time, and Red Elk understands. He tells the officer to get in touch with him when Kelly is ready. Dom stands by Kelly at the funeral of his mother. When Kelly starts to cry, Dom comforts her by telling her that no one will think he's weak if he cries. Kelly says that his mother will be proud of him if he is strong, but Dom says that Bernice has always been proud of him. Kelly tells Dom that he wants to leave town, which makes Dom sad. Then they kiss, and both feel something strange, but they don't think much of it. After Dom leaves, Kelly goes to the same cemetery to see where Slugger is buried. He eats a wild plant that is growing on the ground, and as soon as he does, he starts to throw up. So Sarah watches from a distance. After the accident, Officer Adler drives Kelly to social services and talks to him about what happened. Kelly is sure it wasn't an accident when she finds out that the trailer fell off its supports before the gas caught fire. Nelson and his friends, on the other hand, have no regrets about what they did. They don't tell anyone about their part in the manslaughter and decide to go to the river bend to relax after a hard week. On the way, they see Adler driving Kelly out of town, and they decide to make fun of him. Enraged, Kelly gets out of Adler's fast-moving car and follows Nelson and his friends to the end secret. Tucker takes off his shirt and goes swimming while Nelson and the others playfully throw rocks at him. Kelly rips a piece out of Tucker's shirt and eats it. He then ties his shirt around his neck, making it hard for Tucker to breathe and stay afloat. Nelson and the others watch in horror as Tucker slowly sinks under the water. Nelson tries to help him, but he can't be saved. Kelly, and then Cockley comes clean about his role in Tucker's death. Reed gets scared and runs away, so Kelly grabs Nelson's shirt. But Reed comes back with Officer Adler, and Kelly has to run away. The boys tell the police that Kelly had something to do with Brad's death, but the police don't believe them and think that the boys killed their friend that night. Kelly goes to Dom's place. When Dom asks him about what happened at the river, he tells her the truth about how he planned to get revenge for his mother's death. But Dom tells him that instead of killing Nelson and the other people, he should get them to confess. Kelly agrees, and the next day they make out. Kelly shows up in chemistry class and makes Tony angry on purpose so that he will say he killed Bern. Nelson is able to calm Tony down, but when Sarah, Tony's girlfriend, is made fun of by Kelly, Tony loses it and throws acid in Kelly's face. Tony ends up burning himself because of this. He screams out in pain, then falls to the ground and dies. Enraged, Sarah kicks Kelly in the buttocks, but Kelly hurts himself and Sarah is left alone with Dom. When the teacher comes in with Adler, Kelly runs away again, and the police have to cancel classes until Kelly is found. Later that night, Sarah, who is still upset about Tony's death, goes to Nelson's house and plans with him how to get revenge. She tells him that Kelly got sick right away after eating a vine from the cemetery, so the two of them go to the cemetery. The next day, Adler finally gets in touch with Red Elk, and he and Adler dig up Slugger's grave together. Whitcomb takes his sons to football practice and keeps an eye on them while they are there. Adler sees the chain that the bullies used to take Kelly's trailer apart in the back of Whitcomb's pickup truck. Adler asks Nelson and Reed about it, but they both say they don't know anything about it. Soon, Kelly comes to practice with an electric drill after eating a piece of Nelson's clothes. However, Nelson is ready and pulls a cylinder of weed juice from the cemetery out of his bag. Adler begs Kelly to stop, but Kelly drills his knees and drills into Nelson's knee as a result. Nelson screams because he is in pain, but Kelly won't stop until Nelson says he killed Bernice. Kelly finally stops when Dom gets there. Nelson takes the chance to spray Kelly with the weed juice, which causes the latter to fall to the ground. Then, Whitcomb takes Adler's gun and shoots Kelly. Kelly's ways are bad, so Dom tries to get him to give up his powers. Kelly agrees only reluctantly, and Adler takes him to the cemetery with Red Elk and Dom while he and Red Elk do a ritual. Kelly gives Dom strength by giving him a kiss. Soon, Kelly starts shaking violently, and Dom begs Red Elk to stop the police, surround them, and tell them to stop moving. When Kelly tries to run away, a police officer shoots him, hitting Dom and himself in the process. Dom kisses Kelly before he dies, but it's too late. Dom's death made everyone sad. Kelly eats Slugger's rotting body to take away his power. When Kelly comes back to life in the back of the ambulance, which is how the movie ends, we find out that Dom got the power from her. We really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like And don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell because it is really important for us. Thank you.